Good afternoon and welcome to BizTech Asian Midday Market Watch. I'm Samantha Voon and my co-host today, Jeffery Halley. It's Wednesday, the 27th of March, and our guest today is Jessica Amir, Market Strategist at moomoo in Sydney. Jessica, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you again. Okay, Jeffrey, you want to go with the...
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It's been another mixed day in Asian stock markets today. Looking at the Nikkei 225, it's jumped by 1.1%, possibly on a weaker yen. Meanwhile, in China, the unexpected rise in industrial profits this morning hasn't impacted markets there. The Shanghai Composite is down 0.51%, with Hong Kong's Hang Seng down 0.89%. In Australia, the ASX 200 is gained 0.44%, with South Korea's Kospi almost unchanged, up just 0.2%. In Singapore, the STI is up 0.77%, while in Kuala Lumpur, the KLSE has fallen by 0.33%. Jessica, it's another mixed day again for stock markets across the region. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a mixed day, but it's a cracking quarter. And of course, we do have end of quarter rebalancing taking effect. That basically is a time when we see sophisticated investors in the big end of town, i.e. Investment managers and the like, taking profits from those stocks that have done really well. And then on the flip side, we typically see investment managers buying into stocks that are, I guess, downward doozies. And I guess this explains some of the moves that we're seeing today and this week. For example, if you have a look at Tesla, their shares are up considerably. They're moving up off their lows, and we're increasingly seeing more bites and nibbles in other Mag 7 stocks such as Apple. And then, of course, you think about China's industrial data. It's the second time we've received better than expected industrial news out of China. And this is, of course, for the betterment of commodities. So as such, the iron ore price is continuing to move up off its low, and so too is copper. And this, of course, is benefiting some of the world's biggest commodity players such as BHP, Rio Tinto and Fortescue. They're all moving up off their lows. So very exciting. But again, just to round it all out, very normal that you see quarterly rebalancing. So moves are pretty volatile around this time of year. And don't forget, of course, we've got Easter in the Western world. And so that means that we're probably going to see moves be a little bit more wilder based on thin volume. So something to keep on your radar.
Okay. Jess, let's talk about the EV space as well. Just over the past year, we've seen an increase of players introducing new EV models. What's your take on the future of EV, and what can our viewers expect?
So we've got a lot of announcements this week and indeed last week that are really going to, I guess, push EV adoption to new heights. And we're probably going to see sales quickly increase. And so this is for two reasons. So firstly, we've seen this week the world's biggest battery EV producer, CATL, announce innovation that we've never seen ever before. So we've got CATL that's now able to work towards producing, I guess, a battery that can charge an EV in 10 minutes. So that's never been seen before. But we're also hearing that CATL, this world's biggest battery producer that supplies batteries to most of the EV companies around the world, they're also working on quickening that battery charge again and taking it a longer distance. So potentially in excess of 1,000 kilometers of charge. Again, not heard of. But wait, there's more. The ice cream, or the cream on the top, is they're basically mixing sodium ion batteries with lithium ion batteries, new and old technology. What does it mean? It basically means that they are looking at maybe using this to increase the power of a battery cell. So in the future, we're probably going to see planes fueled by Cattle's batteries. And then last but not least, of course, last week, Samantha and Jeffery, we of course had Biden's administration basically enforcing the most stringent emission targets that we've ever seen, ever before, on car makers. So all of this is going to, I guess, force EV producers to really ramp up their EV sales because you've got the EPA now, the Environmental Protection Authority in the US, really cracking down and making sure, I guess, it's going to be pretty flaming hard to sell an ICE, an internal combustion engine.
I can imagine a few petrol heads crying in their teas and such like in America over the next few years. Let's circle back to the stock markets again. You touched on the quarter end, and we often see rebalancing flows, and as you said, it can lead to some pretty unusual movements in the markets, and not just in stock. We see it also in currency and commodity markets as well. What are you expecting for the month for the quarter end rebalancing from an institutional investor perspective? And will there be any opportunities from that from little people like ourselves?
Yeah, it's a great question. So to answer that, I guess in two ways. So we're actually seeing institutional flows move into some of those Mag 7 stocks that have been downbeaten. So we're seeing, so we just spoke about Tesla and EVs. So we saw Elon Musk come out saying that he is going to look to roll out an EV, would you believe it or not, for under $25,000 US. That'll be a first for the EV maker. And so, of course, that's causing a lot of people to get excited, a lot of retail investors like us to get excited about, the likelihood of Tesla's sales increasing again and potentially maybe getting back on par with, likes of seeing the stronger growth like BYD is and Geely that's behind Zeekr. So because of that, because of that excitement in the retail space, we're seeing trades pick up in Tesla. And of course, we know Tesla shares are down significantly. They're well and truly in a bear market, but this year they're also in a correction. And so the retail space are jumping on the back of that trade. Also, on the more sophisticated side of town, we're increasingly just this week, because of that end of season or end of quarter rebalancing taking effect, we are seeing some orders also flow into Tesla as well. And that's, of course, because our investment managers have to bring their portfolios back into alignment. So I think before the week's out, Jeffery, you're probably going to see more retail investors take advantage of these arbitrary moves, I guess, if you will. And then second of all, of course, we know Apple. Apple is also in a correction. Their shares are down over 13% from their highs. And of course, they've been, I guess, Johnny come lately to the AI party. But we do know that Apple is potentially working on a collaboration with Google, which will be a significant step or change in the right direction for Apple. And so as a result, you're seeing investment managers just really just bite into Apple and take advantage of, I guess, of low-hanging fruit, because I don't think that Apple will be staying at these levels for years to come. I mean, Apple is brilliant in innovating. So yeah, that, I guess, maybe answers your question.
Thank you.
Thanks for your insight, Jessica. So we've been speaking to Jessica Amir, market strategist at moomoo in Sydney. I'm Samantha Voon.
And I'm Jeffery Halley.
And you've been watching BizTech Asia Asian Midday Market Watch. This video and podcast will be on our website, www.biztechasia, as well as our social media platform. It will also be on our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thanks for tuning in.